Aromancy chest has been released, and with that comes brand new cards obtained at Arcane Orderly per usual. To unlock the shop, you must complete all 5 base waves of AERO chests, and I'm not telling you where it is. Kip's gonna put a hole in my chest with a shotgun. He watches these videos. Once you complete the mode, you can start buying these cards off of him. They are rather expensive, so good luck with the grind. Dispersment is our first card for this video. This is a pawn variant that can move you up to 2 tiles, dealing 22 damage to your front diagonal tiles and placing displacement room where you previously were. This card also applies a negative 20% frail to you for a turn. Swiftness for 4 turns, but you can't move on your first turn because of the fatigue that applies to you. This card also stuns chess pieces hit for a turn, so you're safe to use it on pieces like rook or queen. This pawn has a lot more reach and upsides to it compared to the other 2 pawns, but with the major drawback of the frail. Try playing smart with this card. Use this when your enemies aren't going to attack at all, and on your next turn you can retreat behind your displacement rune. Fog's Flow is the second card you can get. You will move exactly like the other knight cards, but when you land, you'll deal 25 damage to all enemies around you in an AoE of 1, whilst also pushing them back 2 tiles. This also applies -2 fatigue, so restrict your enemy's movement by 2 tiles, but it can't make them stop moving. When used against chess pieces, they get knocked back by 4 tiles. This card is effective of its usage of disrupting the enemy team by forcing them out of their positions. As well, you can trigger traps with this, so you can force them to trip over something they don't want to. Mist Smell is the third card from the pack. All allies, including yourself, within every diagonal range from yourself draws 3 cards, and this card bypasses the hand limit. Enemies will be forced to shuffle 2 cards in their hands back to their decks, and when you hit an ally summon, they gain levitation for 3 turns. When you have at least +5 swiftness, the range becomes global, but enemies will no longer be affected by it. This card also does a flat 40 life loss damage to all chess pieces in range. Levitation is an amazing status effect to have, allowing you to bypass all melee-based interactions. Your cards also ignore obstacles, and you can walk over them. Ground-based attacks ignore you, immunity auras, triggering traps. They will lose the status effect if they are put to sleep or get stunned. This is possibly the worst chess card out of the bunch. Considering the card draw is a bit weak compared to Masquerade, the levitation status can only be really utilized by rangers, and the fact that the enemy conditional isn't that too great as well, and 5 effective swiftness is really hard to get unless you run an Aromancy focused deck. Blur's Bolt is the rook card of the bunch. It ignores confusion and moves forward in a straight line like all the other rook cards, dealing 30 damage to the enemy collided and applying a stack of swiftness to all allies around you. Enemies that are around you, both where you started and where you ended, get confused for 3 turns. The maximum base damage is 65, which will take around 9 tiles to travel the distance required. This card does triple damage against chess pieces, so have fun running them over. Another absolutely fire rook card, and one of my favorites, granted that it can be used to confuse the enemies as well as give your teammates a movement buff. Our second to last card is Force's Flicker. When used, it will place down a force summon with no charm and taunt. Taunt provokes all enemies to try and attack it. When it is defeated, all enemies next to it will be repositioned elsewhere and applies swiftness to the entire team for 6 turns. If there are any chess pieces next to it, it will also apply a negative 20% defense modifier on them for 6 turns. If the force gets captured, it'll still apply its effects. Simple yet effective, Force's Flicker can be thrown out and you'll get a lot of benefits from it. Just make sure you actually put it next to the enemy instead of in the corner. Before we get to our final card, I'd like to let you guys know that you should like and subscribe the video, helps out the channel. And also, the card got rebalanced, and I had to go re-record everything. Wrapping out the bunch is going to be Gail's Gust. You create Gales on all your tiles around you, plus your diagonals, and when they hit an enemy, the Gale will explode, dealing 36 life loss damage, with the damage increasing for every tile it travels. It will apply disoriented to all enemies next to the Gale when it explodes. When the victim tries to move or use a card with a transport subtype, there's a 10% chance for it to cancel entirely, or it will be selecting a 1 AoE around the tile you want it to place. Chess pieces will take 50% more damage when getting hit by a Gale. This card has the potential to do some amazing damage, but you'll have to make sure you hit far away enemies from it. And with enemies can be constantly on the move, that's going to be hard to do so. The disoriented status effect is great to apply for enemies trying to run away, but be reminded that attack cards will hit their desired spot. And that's it for the video. Comment which one of these pieces are your favorites, and I'll see you guys in the next showcase. Bye!